Applying the Pro Waterstain, you have to really work at it. It's got to be applied for a very long time. It has time, needs time to penetrate the leather. It is not just a solvent and a carrier, a solvent and a pigment. There are all sorts of fat liquors and so on inside the stain, and all of that needs a lot of time to penetrate. So you keep on working and working this until it is really dark. It must be much darker than the expected color eventually. So it's just a case of keeping on working it. You'll see my sponge has a lot of the stain left, so I am just going to keep on working it. Give that time to penetrate, not to dry out on the surface. Some of these stains really go dark to such an extent at this point that they almost look black. In this case, this is the one termed Bordeaux, and so it is not all that dark, although it's almost darker now than what it will be eventually in the finished project. And you can see just by the length of this video, if you review the time that this video is running, you will see the time that I'm taking to apply the stain. It's not a very fast process, but it is a very satisfactory stain to use. Ultra fast. I have carried a piece of leather in my pocket with my keys with this stain on it, no finish, no sealer, for about 18 months, and the stain showed no sign of wear on that leather or anything like that. It's also the only stain that I will trust to use on the inside of a belt. If somebody wants the inside of a belt dyed, then this is the stain that I will use for that. Okay, there, most of it has penetrated. The surface is becoming really nice and smooth and dark, and at this point I will leave it, come back to it when it is dried. I'll take note of the time and tell you how long it has been for this to dry. Right, it's an hour and a half, a little more than an hour and a half later, and you can see that the color is now much lighter, quite dull. This is what that professional stain dries like, and I'm going to apply the professional finish, the clear gloss version, to this leather. I will let that sit about 5-10 minutes. I'll clear coat the other parts of this hat too, and then by that time this will be dry. But that is the final color now. Quite a darker, deep, nice burgundy. Not as dark as the stain was when it was applied, as you saw earlier, but you can see the difference that a finish makes to it. It really brings that color out totally from that dull color. Let me bring one of the other parts here and I'll show you. There you can see the difference the finish makes to this leather. And so you can't judge the color just by putting it on or drying it. You have to apply some sort of conditioner or sealant to it to really see what the color will be.